Sometimes it feels like life waits for us to finally feel okay before it decides to fall apart again. You wake up one morning thinking, maybe things are getting better. Your sleep has been decent. You're drinking water again. You even smiled at a stranger yesterday. There's a tiny sense of peace returning, a little rhythm, and then, boom, a phone call, a relapse, a broken promise, something collapses. And it always feels timed, as if life was watching you rebuild, only to send a test the moment you let your guard down. Why does it happen like that? I've asked this question more times than I can count, especially in moments when I was already exhausted, not from work or the world, but from hoping too much. I remember once I had just come out of a heavy season. I was journaling again, eating well, reconnecting. There was a calmness, fragile but beautiful, and then within a week a close friend ghosted me. Another one betrayed something I told them in confidence. And I remember sitting in my room, staring at the wall, thinking, what's the point of healing if life punishes it? That sentence looped in my mind like a cruel joke. It didn't feel like depression. It felt like being mocked by the universe, as if the moment I tried to rise, the world whispered, sit back down. Maybe you've felt that too. Maybe you've tried, not in a dramatic movie kind of way, but in the slow, quiet way that nobody applauds. You brushed your teeth. You made that call. You forgave someone or yourself. And just when you thought, maybe it's working, something outside your control slammed the door shut. It's hard to keep going. When effort doesn't guarantee safety, it's hard to bail. Eve in peace, when every glimpse of it is followed by a storm. But there's something I've come to understand, not from books, but from breaking, that sometimes life isn't testing your strength, it's revealing what you still cling to for stability, and that's where the real shift begins. The Buddhists call it the 8 worldly winds, 8 forces that blow through every life, no matter how careful, kind, or enlightened you try to be. Gain and loss, fame and disgrace, praise and blame, pleasure and pain. That's it. 8 invisible winds, always moving, always shifting. You can build your life like a fortress, stack achievements like bricks, protect yourself with success, reputation, or routine, but the winds will ill reach you through the cracks, through people, through change. I didn't understand that at first. I thought if I just worked hard enough, earned the respect, the growth, the stability, then I'd be safe. But I wasn't chasing peace. I was chasing control. And the thing about the winds is, you can't bargain with them. They don't care how good you've been. They don't care how tired you are. They don't show up on your schedule. They don't ask if now is a good time. They just blow. And if you tie your happiness to whether they're in your favor, if you only breathe deeply, when things are going well, then you'll live like a leaf in a storm, tossed, whipped, unstable. It sounds harsh, I know, but strangely, there's peace in realizing this, because it means the chaos is not personal. You're not cursed. You're not broken. You're just standing in the wind, like everyone else. And the goal isn't to stop the wind. The goal is to stop being blown away by it. That's why this concept matters. Because most of our suffering doesn't come from the wind itself. It comes from our resistance to it, our shock that it's here, our belief that something must be wrong. If life hurts, but nothing's wrong, it just weather. And like any storm, it passes. The more we expect life to be calm, the more pain we feel when it's not. But if we expect the winds and learn how to anchor ourselves, we suffer less, not because the pain is gone, but because we're no longer surprised by it. Let's begin with the first pair, gain and loss. This one's subtle, because we're trained to chase gain. From the moment we're born, grades, friends, approval, money, milestones, achievements. We call it growth. We call it progress. But really, we've been conditioned to tie our identity to accumulation, and gain does feel good. Buying your first car, landing that job, watching numbers go up, in your bank account, your followers, your success metrics. It feels like the world is saying, you're safe now, you're valuable now, you're doing life right. But that's the illusion, because everything gained can be lost. Jobs end, money disappears, relationships shift, people leave, health declines, sometimes slowly, sometimes all at once, and when you've built your entire self around what you have, you collapse. When you lose it, I've done it too. There was a time I felt unstoppable, everything aligned, everything in growing, and then one unexpected moment, and suddenly I felt like I was back at zero. It wasn't just the loss of the thing, it was the loss of who I thought I was. Buddhism doesn't say you shouldn't enjoy gain. It says don't be fooled, be it. It's just a wind. Here today, gone tomorrow. If you treat gain like a permanent signal of success, you'll be shocked when it disappears. But if you expect the wind to shift, you stop clinging, you enjoy the gain while it lasts. Out pretending it's forever, and when loss arrives, you grieve, yes, but you don't fall apart, because deep down, you never believed gain was your home. You knew it was just passing weather. The world doesn't owe us consistency, it only promises change. So instead of building your life around keeping what you've gained, build your life around staying grounded, no matter what the wind brings. That way, when it changes, and it will change, you won't be blown away, you'll bend. You'll sway, but you'll still be rooted. That's real peace. Fame feels different today. It used to be reserved for legends, poets, presidents. Now, one viral moment, one trending post, and you're known. Not necessarily understood, not respected, just visible. And it feels good. Validation pouring in like rain, likes, shares, comments that say, you matter, you're seen. But fame is fickle. The same internet that raises you can turn on you with no warning. One misunderstood tweet, one unpopular opinion, one moment where you're not entertaining enough, and suddenly silence, or worse, disgrace. I felt this when my channel grew. The praise felt endless. I thought I had finally done something right. Finally arrived, but it didn't last. The numbers faded. The algorithm changed. People moved on, and I was left wondering, was I only worthy when I was being watched? Buddhism doesn't glorify fame. It doesn't shame disgrace. It just says, both are wins. They come, they go. Sometimes you're the voice. Everyone echoes. Other times, you're just background noise, and neither says anything true about who you are. The trap is letting reputation become your identity, letting external opinion shape internal worth. Fame is not a reward. Disgrace is not a punishment. They're both just echoes. From the outside world, louder some days, quieter others. You can't control who praises you. You can't control who drags your name. All you can control is where you stand. When the wind blows, if you chase relevance, you'll run forever. If you fear disgrace, you'll hide your truth. But if you root yourself in what doesn't shift, in values, in character, in your quiet inner compass, you can face both without flinching, because you'll know this applause, temporary, this criticism, also temporary. Neither defines you, neither lasts. Let the wind howl. You're not here to be liked, you're here to be real. Sometimes the strongest thing we can do is nothing. No reaction, no outburst, no attempt to win the wind, just to let it pass. We don't need to resist every loss. We don't have to chase every gain. We don't have to justify every blame, or hold on to every praise. Sometimes the real mastery is simply watching, not interfering. As the winds come and go, imagine sitting by a lake. The surface is disturbed by gusts of wind, but underneath the water remains still, unmoved. Undisturbed. That's the mind of a person who no longer lives. At the mercy of fortune, the 8 worldly winds still blow, but they do not decide who you are. You'll still be blamed and praised, you'll win and lose, you'll feel joy and pain, but these are no longer you. They are simply the weather, and weather changes. I used to take every loss personally. Every failure felt like proof that life had something against me, that I was cursed. But the more I studied the Buddha's teachings, the more I realized I wasn't cursed. I was just alive. And life moves in cycles. One day it blesses you with warmth. The next day it tests you with cold. The winds change, but you don't have to collar. P.S. When life does, you don't have to abandon yourself. Every time something goes wrong, you don't have to grip so tightly to the things that were never meant to stay. It takes courage to remain open even after loss. It takes maturity to accept praise without becoming arrogant, or accept blame without becoming bitter. It takes wisdom to walk through pain and not become it. The goal isn't to live a windless life. That's impossible. The goal is to become the kind of person who doesn't get blown away, still, grounded, clear, like the mountain, that the winds cannot move, like the ocean, that holds every storm, yet swallows none. Let the world change, let people change, let feelings come and go. You remain. You are not the wind. You are not the wave. You are not the noise. You are the silence that watches, the stillness that remains, as the Persian king once read on his ring, and as every wise person eventually learns, these 4 words: hold tea, he key to peace. This too shall pass. Thank you for watching. If this gave you peace, pass it on. Someone out there may need it more than you know. Until next time, be still, be soft, be free.